I think people need to know that the reason that we decided to do these series on decoy training was for dog handlers, as much or more as it is for training decoys. I went to my first protection dog seminar a few months short of 40 years ago. And for a lot of years, I would take my dogs out, and I really didn't know what was going on with the decoy. I didn't know what was going on in the decoy's mind. I didn't know what the decoy really expected out of my dog. And it took a long time for that to click. Heck, I did my first protection dog video, police dog video back in 1985. It wasn't even close to what we do today. I think that anyone that's involved in the biting dog sports needs to understand what's going on in a decoy's mind. If you understand that, if you're a new trainer and you're trying to train your first dog, if you're an experienced trainer and you've tried to train a number of dogs, you need to be able to have a communication with your decoy. No one knows your dog as well as you know your dog. You know your dog's strengths, you know your dog's weaknesses. You need to be able to walk up to a new decoy and say, hey, here's where my dog is in training right now. Here's his strengths, here's his weaknesses, here's some of the areas that he has problems in biting the decoy, so we need to figure out a training plan for how we're going to work this dog. You can't just walk onto a field and walk up to a seminar decoy and say, okay, let's work our dog today. That's a mistake. You need to know enough about decoy work so that you can tell a decoy what you think your dog needs. You need to be able to work out a training plan that makes sense for your dog. And just as importantly, you need to understand decoy work so that if you go to a new decoy or you're training a new decoy and he starts to do things that aren't good for your dog, you need to know when to say stop and step away for the betterment of your dog. You need to understand these things. You need to know when to walk away from a decoy. You need to know when to say, wait a minute, I think that we should do this. And the only way you're ever going to know this is not by going out and standing on the end of a leash and watching a decoy work for 5 years or 10 years or whatever. You need to study decoy work. And these videos that we're doing with Mark, and Mark Keating is one of the best in the country. There are people that will say, Mark Keating is a French ring decoy. Well, you know what? I have that in the same context of training protection dogs. When we start to train puppies, we train all puppies the same up until the point where they're ready to move off into either Schutzen work, Mondio ring work, French ring work, police service work. It makes no difference. The foundation is all the same, and it's the same for decoy work. The foundation of decoy work is all the same. How you determine whether you're going to be a French ring decoy, a police service dog decoy. We're not real fans of training personal protection dogs because I don't believe in them anymore. I think they're dangerous, but that's a whole different subject. Or a Schutzen decoy. A lot of Schutzen people want to learn how to work their dogs in suits. So this series of decoys that we're doing with Mark is going to cover the foundation of what to do. The first DVD is what to do with a dog when the dog is placed in a bite on a suit. That's where to start. The reason we did it this way was you see so many times people buy new suits and they're going to train a new decoy, so they take their dog out and they send their dog. Well, the dog goes up, he bites the guy in the leg, the dog is on the leg, he doesn't know what to do, he doesn't know how to move. So the foundation of learning how to work a dog in a suit starts with taking a dog, and an experienced dog, and putting him on, say, the thigh, putting him on the lower leg, putting him on an arm, on the back. You put the dogs on the bite suit, and we're going to show the decoys how to handle themselves once the dog is put on them. And then the second decoy training DVD that we're doing is going to show how to catch a dog. People do things ass in backwards when they start off by taking a new decoy out and they send a dog on them, and they're expected to know how to catch them. Well, that's fine. Maybe they can catch them, but they don't know what to do once the dog is on them. We're going to show them that in the first decoy DVD. We're going to show them what to do when they're in the suit. Then the second one is how to catch them. Now, another market and another thing that I think is important for these DVDs is for police service work. The hard thing, and I was a police canine handler for 10 years. I was involved with the training organization for the Wisconsin police dog handlers. For a couple of years, I was chairman of the training committee. What we see with canine handlers is they all have a problem finding someone to do training with. They have a problem with finding decoys, so they have to grab another officer. And that officer doesn't want to get hurt, so they have to put him in a suit. Well, they don't know what to do when they're in the suit. So police canine officers need decoys. This DVD series is going to help them. And a lot of people that have never ever been involved in the biting dog sports sit and look at us and they think, biting dog? Why are you training your dog to bite people? It's stupid. It's not stupid. What they don't understand is that the biting dog sports, excuse me, the biting dog sports are where police service dogs come from. The biting dog sports are the dogs that test the temperament of dogs to go out and do police service work, search and rescue work. People think, well, people that don't know think, well, police service dogs come from breeding police service dogs. That's absolutely wrong. I personally don't know any police department in the United States that has a breeding dog program that produces police service dogs. That's not where they come from. Police service dogs come from the genetics that are developed by people that breed dogs for competition in the biting dog sports, whether it be Schutzhund, whether it be Mondio ring, whether it be French ring, whether it be Belgian ring, or whether it, excuse me, whether it be the KNPV in Holland. Those biting dog sports are where all of our police service dogs come from, all of our national military service dogs come from. They come from here. And how do you train those dogs? You have to have decoys. You have to have people that understand how to operate in a bite suit. And that's what we're going to train them here. For many, many years, I've produced a number of DVDs showing people dogs working on suits. But we really never got down to the nitty-gritty. We never got down to the level that we are at with Mark Keating. Mark is great. He's a good trainer. He is very, very articulate. And to Mark's credit, he's a very safe decoy. And that's important because anybody can get hurt being a decoy. And I'll put this in every one of our decoy DVDs and what we've put on our website. This is dangerous. I know a lot of decoys that have done things wrong and ended up with broken legs. I've been there when decoys have had broken legs. So those that decide to get into the suit had better know what they're doing, and they had better understand that it's a very dangerous thing to do, because if you do it wrong, you're going to get hurt. So if you're a new person that wants to learn how to be a decoy, use the information in these DVDs as the foundation for your learning, but then go out and do it in the presence of a skilled, experienced decoy instructor. That's how you should set up your training program.